9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Well, a big happy Friday, TGIF, everybody, and welcome to WWT Live as part of Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. I am your professor, GB, Gerard Bonner. Call me all of the things, but I'll tell you what, we've got a lot to talk about on the eve of Saturday night's main event, on the heels of the first live TNA Impact in 8 years, and just hours before SmackDown. Lots to talk about. And of course, I don't have to do this alone. It probably wouldn't be the same if it was. So joining us, of course, fresh off the heels of all things All Elite Wrestling is the elitist herself. Courtney is here. How are you, Courtney?
Oh, you do not have to be alone. It is Friday. Happy Friday. Lots to talk about, from Dynamite to TNA to SmackDown to Saturday night's main event. So there is a lot happening in the wrestling world.
There certainly is. You doing all right?
Yeah, it is cold. We're supposed to be getting snow in New Jersey on Monday.
Okay. And isn't your event tomorrow night? Is that right?
Oh, no, it was last weekend. Yes.
It was last weekend. Wait, how did it go?
It actually went really good. I didn't mention this on Wednesday, but it was really nice. I got to do guest commentator for a match, and it was really, really fun. I'm just waiting for the footage to come in just to see how I did. And also had the chance to really support women, and also for Bell to Bell crown their first Diamond champion. That's the name of the belt. And it was really exciting just to see all the ladies put their heart out, especially in the main event.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. I knew we hadn't followed up and closed up on that. So that's pretty awesome. And of course, we're joined by the sweet.
It's the Queen Bee of WWT, Wrestling with Honey with
Honey Pop Predictions.
Honey is in the building. How are you, honey?
What is up, guys? Happy Friday. I'm so excited. SmackDown's tonight. Business is literally booming. I love what we're about to get into today. I'm so excited. Good to see you. I'm so glad that everything went well for you last week. Can't wait to see how you did.
Yes.
Yeah, I am quite intrigued to see how that went as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Lewis is in the chat. Cousin Ron, of course, always good to see you, bud. Pat Chu is in the building. Boza is here. And Boza, we're going to talk about that because I that's actually a very interesting point. The idea that the Royal Rumble is happening next Saturday. Shout out to Special Little Nobodies. Great to see you. Dylan, good morning to you, sir. Good day, Ms. Awesome Saucy. That's a cool name. I like that name. And Seth is in the building. Jasmine, welcome back. I'm liking when people who seem to be new just keep showing up. That's an awesome thing. So there's something here they like, and I appreciate that. Now then, let's get into all of the things. Again, we said TNA Impact live for the first time in 8 years. SmackDown happening tonight. Saturday night's main event. But we have to follow up on what happened Wednesday night on Dynamite. This is where we're starting, and we kind of ended asking the question, would we get new tag team champions? Well, you can always trust your professor and the sweetest ooze. We've got new tag team champions in AEW. They are Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin. The Hurt Syndicate ran roughshod over Private Party Wednesday night to become the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. What were your thoughts on this, Courtney, with the Hurt Business now becoming champions?
Obviously, I was going back and forth because in my gut, I was like, Private Party needs to retain. But then I had another feeling that they were going to win. But this was not a shocker to me. Congratulations to the both of them, because the fans just went crazy over them. You would think they would be heels when they started, but the fans just went crazy. And also, I said this during my watch along a couple weeks ago, that we actually need a strong heel tag team. And this is really something that could really push the tag team division, because two of your top tag teams are not there anymore. FTR, they're with Cope. My clients, the Acclaimed, are split for now. So this is going to be something that's going to be intriguing. But also, this could be something for Private Party as well, because one of the things I mentioned a couple weeks ago, I would love to see them do a lot more promos. I would like to see them do a lot more vignettes, and I would like to see a lot more growth and aggressiveness from them. Of course, they do the shots and the party, but I would like to see a lot more growth. And also, this is going to be interesting too, because they also have to deal with Swerve. And then on top of that, because I know Daniel Garcia, he's going to be in trios action tomorrow. But when he faced off with Shelton Benjamin was eyeing his TNT championship. So I would not be surprised if Shelton was 2 belts already. So there's a lot of layers to this story, and also really kind of giving a little spark to the tag team division. So I'm very intrigued on where this is going to go and excited what's going to happen moving forward.
So there are some interesting comments here in the chat, and I'm going to see how we can address them. Dylan says the worst book tag champions in AEW history are Private Party. Let me ask you about that, honey. Your thoughts on Dylan's comment there. Is Private Party the worst book tag team champions in AEW? And what are your thoughts on the reign of Private Party?
I won't go ahead and say the worst book tag champs. I mean, I think we might have seen worse bookings than that. I mean, I might be wrong, but from my perspective, no, I wouldn't say that they're the worst book tag team in AEW history. I would consider them to be pretty much one of the pillars of the tag team division in AEW, being that they've had the longevity and they've been there since the beginning. I think this was a great way to pass the torch to the Hurt Syndicate to at least give a level up to the tag team division, which is what AEW thoroughly needs, and also in a lot of other areas as well, as we've discussed many times. But with the tag team division, when you put the titles on guys like Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, men who are more than established in the business, and they're amazing ring workers, always ready to work, and they're gonna do their job as tag team champions and continue to pretty much push this division to a different level. I think it was just, like I said, I think Private Party was meant to serve as a transitional champion for the Hurt Syndicate, as a way to usher in, and coming from one group to the other, you have melanated tag team champions is a beautiful thing. So I think that this is going to be a very important tag team reign with the Hurt Business, but I wouldn't knock Private Party's ability entirely and how they're reigning. I feel like they could be multi-time champions,
So let me ask this question, and I will eventually address what Dylan mentioned and what Boza is in the chat talking about. Let me just, for the people who are watching and listening, Boza has already said that the Hurt Syndicate are worse champions than Private Party, even though they've only been champions for 48 hours. That's interesting to me. He goes on to say this was only their second tag team match ever. Acclaimed was a squash and now already champions. I think you mean Private Party. Let's see. Jeffrey says that Private Party were transitional tag team champions. Antoine, good to see you, says they should have kept the belts on the Young Bucks and then given them to the Outrunners. Here's my question. And honey, I'll start with you on this one. One of the things about pro wrestling in general that is interesting is if you're going to wear a championship, it has to feel believable. There are certain tag teams that we've looked at in AEW and said, I understand them as tag team champions. FTR being one of them. The Young Bucks obviously being another. I think we got to the point where we believed Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page as tag team champions. Right. And I think we eventually believed Swerve and Keith Lee as tag team champions. Does a team like Private Party, did they make you believe that they could actually be tag team champions of the AEW tag team division? Were they believable champions is my ultimate question there.
For just this reign or just throughout?
Well, this has been their only reign. So in this reign, when they became champions, did it feel like Private Party were believable tag team champions, or did it feel like some have alluded to that they were transitional champions? They're just holding the titles until someone better comes along.
I would definitely say the second notion, and only because I think Private Party has so much more potential to continue to be able to go for the tag team titles and win them. At some point, maybe in this story, there's long-term storytelling where we can have Private Party meet them later in a much more aggressive fashion, a different kind of Private Party. Maybe not this version of Private Party, but something that would bring a little bit more of an edginess to them. Kind of the way Edge and Christian did, the way the Hardy Boys did, the way, Dudley Boys did. Like, I feel like they can be a longevity tag team more so than just transitional champions or just one reign title holders. I don't think that should be the case with them. I want to see a lot of back and forth between these two. But I mean, are we not also going to talk about the elephant in the room? I mean, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, you think we got them all the way over here to AEW for nothing? Got to put those contracts to good use.
I'm getting there. I promise you I'm getting there. Courtney, were Private Party believable tag team champions?
Here's the interesting thing with Private Party, because I just feel like, I don't want to say their title was rushed, because I understand there was a lot with the Elite and Moxley and trying for them to be tag team champions. The one thing that really was a missed opportunity was, I just wish they had a little bit more airtime, because when I saw that reign, they only had at least 2 title defenses, and it really didn't create much of a rivalry. I know they tried to do it with Action Andretti and Lito Rush, but I just kind of felt like it was a little bit, okay, where is this going to go? And then when MVP came into Private Party Celebration, I was like, okay, this is their next challenger. So this is something that Private Party needs to do. And also, the chase is always more fun, because then you get to see the growth, you get to see the aggression, and also seeing somewhere down the line, can they do it? So this could be a lot of David versus Goliath in a way. And also, when the Hurt Syndicate runs through all the tag team champions, most of the tag teams in AEW, this could be something. And also, with Private Party, they're pretty much the only homegrown AEW tag team that's there for right now.
Well, I'll tell you who's homegrown. He is our councilman, and he's hanging out with us.
Councilman Will Pharaoh of Strattonville with his Parisiac constituents.
Speaking of tag teams,
Councilman's in the building. Councilman, how are you?
I'm doing great. How y'all doing today?
Doing well. I want to get you to jump in on this quickly. Were Private Party believable tag team champions?
Sure.
That was said so convincingly.
I mean, but like, as far as what though, like that, there are 2 guys that wrestle together against other 2 people that wrestle together.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, were they great champions? No, but that's not their fault. Give me a great tag team champion in AEW so far.
Well, I can run through a few great tag team champions in AEW. I think FTR were great champions. I think Omega and Hangman were great champions. I think Swerve and Keith Lee were great tag team champions. I will say, though, that from where I sit, Private Party were not believable tag team champions. Let's stop playing games, guys. They got these belts because they had been there for 5 years and the Young Bucks were going home. Okay, like everybody's playing coy and being. Let's call a spade, okay? This was a company that was supposedly built on a great tag team division. Okay. And with that said, it has gone through ebbs and flows. There have been moments where there have been a solid tag team division in AEW. Definitely moments where there were. And then many moments where there were not. And when they were not, whoever became tag team champions were proof of that. Now let's rip off the Band-Aid, okay? Because I'll tell you another team who were horrible tag team champions that I didn't believe in, the Acclaimed. And when you saw the Acclaimed as the tag team champions, you looked at the rest of the tag team division and went, yeah, the tag team division is suffering right now. That's what's happening. So for Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin to be your let me tell you something. If you were trying to make me believe that Private Party could beat the Hurt Syndicate, oh man, I got a large ocean of water to sell you in the Sahara Desert. Okay. Here's the reality of it. The reality of it is Private Party, it took them 5 years to beat the Young Bucks again. There was no way they were beating the Hurt Syndicate. So let me go ahead and ask this question, because there are those that are saying in the chat that the only reason that the Hurt Business are tag team champions is because they're ex-WWE superstars. Would anyone like to address that?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't agree.
I mean, hold on. In a way, is that a problem? Because you have two people who you know from that history of being there know what to do as a tag team. Both of these people have been tag team champions before.
Well,
so
Lashley's never been a tag team champion.
Okay, that's what I was about to ask. I'm not sure.
He's been a multi-time world champion.
Yeah, like especially what you say with a division that's hurting. I don't want to it's not a full comparison, but this is your version of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And you could definitely get your tag team division back, having them sitting on top of it, because there are a few tag teams I know in AEW that would give them a run for their money, at least a great match. What's their name? The one with Khan in there? I think it's
Gates of Agony. That'd be a fun one to watch.
That'd be a fun match to watch, but at least put some of these people on the spot to show, hey, okay, we got a totem pole we got to get to. We got to get right here because they got the look, they got the charisma. You got MVP behind them. They are going to make these tag team belts look more relevant towards AEW now, rather than just placeholders like some of these champions we didn't have.
Let me get your thoughts on that, honey. Are the the Hurt Syndicate, solely let me read the comment so that people don't think I'm just pontificating here. The comment comes from Boza, where he says the Acclaimed, which meant Private Party, finally got the belts after 5 years, and now the Hurt Syndicate are the champs because they came from WWE. We all know fake TK loves to play with ex-WWE toys.
That's a hell of a way to put it.
Can I ask another question, though?
Please.
To add to that, give me a tag team right now that's there that could hold up the division and spotlight it. You're gonna give it to them? Are they gonna do it? Maybe the Righteous are the ones to really
please
and bring this tag division back. Maybe the Outrunners. We forgot about the Outrunners.
The Outrunners, who are a fun team to watch, by the way.
Yes, they are.
Honey, you were saying?
This is like their big 2 out of 3 moment. I mean, it definitely is a significant photo. Like, this is a very important moment, and I don't want people to downplay what the Hurt Business is doing here. But Hurt Business, Hurt Syndicate, excuse me, I'm so used to saying this. All 3 of these men, so what? Whether they were former WWE superstars or indie stars, TNA, wherever they came from. The point is, every single one of these men have the ability to elevate their peers, elevate the division, elevate other guys in the locker room who need it. And there is a desperate time for that, a desperate need for that in AEW, and there has been. So I think that this is a great way capitalize off of where they did come from, of course. But I don't think it's just more so about Tony Khan playing with ex-WWE toys and throwing it in everybody's face. I think a lot of us are kind of like beyond that now, and we don't do it that way. But this is a smart move from Tony Khan. And if he's giving them the ability to do this, that means they have creative control. And who knows what kind of magic we're going to see going forward with the Hurt Syndicate. And with MVP on their side, if we see a big three, like another member, like with a management team, like, come on now. Like, we can't be mad at this at all. We can't.
I will say this before we move from this topic. I'm going to say this as respectfully as I possibly can. I hope the day comes that we can move from limiting wrestlers to solely being ex-WWE wrestlers or ex-AEW wrestlers.
Right.
Bobby Lash, it is disrespectful to Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin to say that these two are only getting something because they are ex-WWE stars. Both of these guys have over 20 years in the business. Yes. Shelton Benjamin is one of the most decorated tag team wrestlers in pro wrestling, one of the greatest pure wrestlers in all of pro wrestling. You've got Bobby Lashley, who is an MMA fighter, a multi-time world champion in multiple companies. You mean to tell me that these guys don't walk in and get a title shot sooner than this?
Like, why not?
Why are we asking the question? I just wish that they would have gotten done better in the tag team division. What else were they supposed to do when they already pinned the tag team champions the week before?
But what about the Butcher and the Blade, Professor? That's the face of your tag team division right there.
I think this is why. I'm feeling it today. This is why pro wrestling fans are in the state they're in now, because pro wrestling fans keep bringing up this idea of tribalism. You mean to tell me you can't see the greatness of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin without saying they only got it because they're ex-WWE stars? Stop playing, or else I can't take your wrestling opinion seriously. Let's just go there.
That's like getting mad at somebody that go to the D League, like, oh, he only starting because he used to play in the NBA. Yeah, he played in the fucking NBA.
Not everybody could do that. Like, not everybody could do that. You got to be drafted for those kinds of things. You got to be selected, chosen.
And now is where I'm going to go here and create a little bit of havoc. I think this is the same thing that people have tacked on to Mercedes Moné that isn't fair, right? She is a former multi-time world champion in the WWE. If she comes somewhere else, she's a former world champion. The only time you can really add the ex-WWE moniker to somebody is if there's someone who, okay, I'm going to use a name, and this name is not meant to be derogatory. I have to always put that out there. But if Elias came in to AEW and all of a sudden in 2 matches, he's, the international champion or something, then we can go ahead and say, all right, you got that because you're ex-WWE. But I mean, when Mercedes walked in, she'd already put in good work over in New Japan. She's already put in work in WWE. Lashley's put in work in multiple places. But Shelton Benjamin's put in work in multiple places. I think we have to do a better job of respecting what these wrestlers bring to the table, regardless of where they've worked. Okay? With that said, I want to move to another piece that came from Dynamite, which is on the other side of the spectrum. And what a way to find this out. Christopher Daniels, who had a crazy Texas death match Saturday night on Collision against Hangman Adam Page, comes out at the end of Hangman's match and announces that after that match, his doctors have advised that he can no longer wrestle again. And he announced inherently his retirement right there on Dynamite, to the shock of everyone. Let's talk briefly about your thoughts on the impact of the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels. Courtney, we'll start with you.
You can't deny the success that he's done. regardless of whatever he's been in. Independent, TNA, and even on AEW for a minute. You just cannot deny everything that he has put in. But it was really interesting with Hangman's face when Christopher Daniels made that announcement. Because Hangman looked, he was a bit shocked. He was a little confused. So for him, if he does hang it up, I do wish him the best of luck. Nothing can take away from everything that he's put into this business, and see where he rides into the sunset.
Honey, your thoughts on the impact of Christopher Daniels?
Congrats. And listen, man, everybody has their own path. Everybody makes their own choices for whatever reason. And he did it in the way that he wanted. I think Christopher Daniels has had an amazing career facing the likes of, AJ Styles, Amazing Red, just to name a couple. And lots more, going through TNA, Ring of Honor, and everything. I think he's just been a really, really good, great talent to watch. And congrats to him, man. And, there comes a time in every Cowboy's life where you got to hang the boots up, and he feels like it's his time. You got to respect that.
For sure. Do you have any favorite moments of Christopher Daniels, Councilman?
Anything he did in X Division.
Mm-hmm.
Man, was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I know AJ Styles definitely got I'm not gonna say fully famous off of what he did in that time, but anything. I think just he was the first person I saw with the actual octagon style arena. Ring, and then with the cage on it, and seeing the X Division in the middle. My first time seeing that Christopher Daniels was in that match.
Yeah.
So, and I think too, to go out on not on necessarily your own terms, but it's we've seen people that can't wrestle no more, that's forced to retire, only can go in and get on the mic and say yo, I'm forced to retire. We saw it with Edge, we saw it with Page, who's Saraya now. For him to do a death match, I think that's why Hangman Page got kind of just after what we just did, and you're now telling me you weren't supposed to wrestle no more?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a dope way to go out. But if Mark Henry taught us anything, I'm going to wait till 2 weeks and then be okay, I think Christopher Daniels retired, because he got a lot left in the tank.
If he comes out with a baby pink jacket or salmon jacket or baby blue jacket,
hold on, we in for something. Wait a minute.
Well, I'll say the difference between that and this was Mark Henry kind of did that announcement on Twitter first, alluding to what he would do on TV, as opposed to TV first, then following it up with just kind of a statement there on Twitter. But shout out for sure to Christopher Daniels. What a career. And you mentioned, when you mentioned TNA, man, he really was the flagship for the TNA X Division. I mean, him, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, those triple threat matches were just insane. They were absolutely insane. So shout out to Christopher Daniels, former Ring of Honor world champion, multi-time champion over in TNA. And certainly we wish you well, sir. Now, this is an interesting story, and I'm very intrigued to hear your thoughts on this. Is TMZ is reporting that Nikki Bella, after her appearance on the premiere of Raw on Netflix, may be planning a return to the ring. She's in talks right now with WWE, and apparently she's already training in the event that an agreement is made. I want to ask the question, what are your thoughts? Well, no, not even what are your thoughts. Here's the question. Does Nikki Bella fit into today's WWE women's division? Honey, we'll start with you.
Be good, honey. Be good. Be good, honey. Be good. I will say yes. I'm gonna give give her her flowers. I think Nikki Bella was a lot contrary to a lot of other people may think or others may have thought. She had a great career, and she did have a great following for a lot of young girls, a lot of young women. I wouldn't mind, maybe a surprise Rumble appearance would be suitable, or I don't know about a necessarily a title run or a full-time run, but I could see her coming on in every now and then just to help out with the women's division. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say not that it needs help, because the women's division in WWE is in great shape, but I'm just saying just maybe if she's thinking about returning full time, get her feet wet with this division and see what it's like. I think she would be a good fit.
Courtney, your thoughts on a potential return for Nikki Bella in WWE? Where does she fit, perhaps, in the women's division?
I'm trying to be very nice because I'm always one of those people that's very critical of her the last couple of years. So I'm being nice about it. I think she could, in a way, with the training, and I can't discredit on the impact she and her sister has done in WWE. Bringing it to mainstream with their show, bringing another set of fans in there who've never even watched wrestling before. I could see her getting into WWE. Possibly, maybe a SmackDown, maybe a Raw. That could be something to do. I wouldn't mind seeing her if she made an appearance, as Honey said, a Rumble match. I wouldn't mind if she got her feet wet jumping into NXT for a bit. And it doesn't have to be too crazy, but a small appearance could be okay. So it's not really crazy, but I could see her getting her feet wet within this division. And since she's training, I don't see why not.
Councilman, let me ask you this. Obviously, the women's division today looks much different than during the heyday of Nikki Bella and even some of her more recent appearances, because many forget, of course, she was the main event of the Evolution pay-per-view against Ronda Rousey and the like. Who would you like to see Nikki Bella in the ring against in WWE right now?
The Boat. Nikki versus the Boat. I think that'll get you excited. I also think that'll because the only thing I'm not against it. Is it needed? I don't think so. And it's only because I say that because of I don't know what you look like in the ring now. That's my more concerning thing. Talent-wise, like persona-wise and character-wise, you can always fit her somewhere in here, especially with the new divisions we got with the women's Intercontinental and U.S. Championship. That's an easy place to find her. But I think Natalya is a safe bet to be able to see, like, hey, let's see if Nikki still got it. If it's good, Natalya is a safe bet to work with. So I would like to see that first to show, like, oh, okay. Nikki do still got it. Nikki can do this. Now let's see how we incorporate her with the new people, because I don't want nobody getting knocked out like Liv Morgan did when her and her sister came back. That's what we don't.
So I'm just going to say this, said, if you're watching and still in the chat, I didn't say Natalya. Councilman did. So.
Listen, when you need a safe bet, when you need someone that's going to make sure the match works, you call in the Boat, okay?
I agree. I agree. I definitely agree. I just think it's funny that, when I've made suggestions about Natalya doing anything in WWE, it was objected.
So no, say it the way you said it. You wanted her to be the inaugural women's Intercontinental.
Well, there's a difference there. I will say this though. There might be some argument among some in terms of who the Boat is. Some think it's Natalya. Others think it's this person.
Oh, yes.
Hi, TK. Welcome aboard.
Boss lady.
Welcome aboard. How are you, boss lady?
Man, working.
Hey, TK.
Middle of work, but I was listening, and thank you everybody for listening, because I just want to toot WWT's horn. We got a good show. I'm just saying. I'm very proud. But yeah, I just want to chime in on this. I feel like at the end, I feel like just what we've been saying for the last couple of weeks, WWE, where it is right now, and particularly Raw, is for not for Wait, is that me? Who's that background going?
I'd love to know who the background is.
Oh, it might be me.
Damn, Kelso.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
You know, she always got to bring her
like,
loud background with her.
Wow, I'm not even running away from the fires. Can we stop? What is this abuse?
I was gonna say she's in her
Awesome.
Cause at all either.
This is a
You home and you got loud background noises.
This is a housewarming. She's back home.
Jeez. Yeah. So I was saying essentially that WWE, in particular the Netflix Raw partnership, is more at this moment about mainstream media. And I don't know if you guys have been peeping it. Nikki has been on a gang of shows, different shows on Peacock, all this other stuff. So she has a recognizable face. So it makes sense for the folks that like for instance, one of the things that I came back into wrestling was because of Total Bellas. Like I've been, some people have been in and out. I came back into wrestling because of Total Bellas. So now you're seeing a show and then you're seeing a recognizable face on somebody who's on Netflix, which either everybody has or somebody has somebody's account. I know Netflix, you think people are not doing that, but there's a workaround, just FYI. Then they're gonna watch it. So I think it's
that, but okay, carry on.
We incriminate ourselves.
I didn't say I was. I'm just letting Netflix know that they can't stop folks from getting Netflix.
That's called being an accessory to a crime, is what you just did.
Because
you just made us that because you told us. Now we know.
Well, I mean, I have a Netflix. I actually have a personal Netflix account.
As your today attorney, I would say just go back to what you were saying.
Today attorney.
Yeah.
This is your single day, single occurrence.
So I think it's a good move. Whether she can go at it in the ring with the likes of Bianca Belair, etc. I don't think so. But with people who are coming up and the type of training that the folks in NXT and the likes of Bianca Belair, etc., is they can make anybody look good. So it's just a matter of both parties being on the same accord. So that's kind of where I think with that.
I don't know about make anybody look good, but
you don't think like if Bianca and Nikki were to go at it, not necessarily a crazy match, but they wouldn't be able to make it look like a decent match? Are you saying it's gonna be just it'll be the shits?
What is happening today? I didn't say Nikki. You said they could make anybody look good. And I'm just saying, I don't think it's a point of making anybody look good because at some point you have to have some degree of talent. I think Nikki has forgotten more than most people may remember. I mean, granted, her era was different, but there's still some intrinsic things that she knew. So yeah, I'm going to give her that credit. I don't think she'd have a horrible match. I just don't think she can necessarily move at the pace that today's women's wrestler is moving, especially those that are currently in the PC. NXT. But this will be interesting to watch. And considering we are exactly 8 days away from the Royal Rumble and we don't know very many people in the women's Royal Rumble match, this could be a potential option, at least to fill one of those slots. Speaking of NXT, a historic night last night where NXT showed up on TNA Impact. It was Impact's first live show in 8 years, and what a show to have. And one of the big matches that people were talking about was the tag team title match between Fraxium and the Rascals, your winners, and still NXT tag team champions are Fraxium. It's the first time ever that a WWE championship was defended on a TNA platform. So that's certainly a big deal. And we can thank Wes Lee for the Rascals not walking away as the tag team champions. Your thoughts, because this was a very, very big night for TNA. Your thoughts on the results of this and just, again, this live presentation of Impact from last night. Honey, we'll start with you.
I guess we'll do this. We'll make it short and sweet. Like me. Congrats, Fraxium. Congrats. I feel like they're just going to continue to try to keep this Fraxium thing going for as long as I can, but I don't care. I still call BS. There is shenanigans going on within this tag team. I'm not convinced. I'm still not convinced.
Okay.
We were hinting at split ups all last year, and they were torturing us a little bit, and I kind of like just left here hanging, just looking at them. I'm like, okay, I'll go along for the ride. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and deny them. They do put on some amazing matches. They're an amazing talent. Them against the Rascals was something that we said was going to be fire, and it absolutely was. I hope they bring it to NXT as well. You know, like bring the Rascals over to NXT, and I want to see that on NXT as well. But congrats to Fraxium.
For sure. Courtney, any thoughts on this tag team match?
I'm going to keep it short, to the point. Congratulations to Fraxium on being tag team champions, retaining, but also this is going to be very fun within the tag team divisions, not just in NXT, but also in TNA. And it would be intriguing to see the Rascals invade NXT and create a little bit of a rivalry between both of these teams. So I'm excited on where the tag teams are going to go for both of them, but congratulations to Fraxium.
Professor, you're in timeout, sir.
What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Listen.
You
When the people say short and to the point, we listen. Now you can define if that was short and to the point or not. I think it was short and to the point. There you go. Good job. Now let me ask this question, because there was a lot of news that dropped from Impact last night, and one of them is the signing. Well, before we get to that, the first world title defense from Joe Hendry last night, as he defended against Matt Cardona and was successful in that match. And so congratulations to Joe Hendry. But what we found out not long after that is perhaps his next opponent could be the newest signee to TNA, Mustafa Ali. Interesting. Councilman, what do you think of the official signing? Of course, Ali was in TNA last year, held the X Division Championship for a while, but was not officially signed to the company. Now he's signed to the company. What do you think this means, and could he be a great opponent for Joe Hendry?
Oh, absolutely. We are seeing the Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley effect, and this is that next stop to going back to the WWE and being shown like what they missed out on. He has made a full 60 from holding up the little light into his thing. Everything he's done has just been a full flip. I cannot wait to see him do his thing, especially now with this partnership too, which means he can also go to NXT as well. Oh yeah, this is incredible signing. Very smart. One question I have: why is JBL there?
JBL has been showing up in a lot of places. He's been showing up in Impact quite a bit. It seemed like he was on the side of Nick Nemeth, but now it's really quite confusing. I can't tell if he's for Joe Hendry for the TNA Championship. Don't know, but I think it's interesting.
He looked like one of them dudes that ain't supposed to be there, but because of the size of him, don't nobody really want to run up and tell him, hey, fans aren't allowed to do this, and they just kind of let him go do it. That's what he be reminding me of. Like, why are you here?
Interesting. Very, very interesting. TK, let me ask you this question. With this signing of Mustafa Ali to TNA, the potential of him fighting for the TNA World Championship, do you think we finally get Mustafa Ali back on NXT television? And if so, how?
I definitely think so. I mean, if you watched, for instance, TNA is coming to Los Angeles, and just even the production value of that, I guess, commercial was very WWE-esque. So I believe that there's going to be a lot more crossovers happening. I'm dying to get, and I definitely will never probably see it, to get that paperwork as far as what that deal looks like. But I think we definitely will see it. I think what they're actually really doing as well, which is a good thing, even though we kind of know it, the protection of the belts. It's like we're seeing the crossover, but we also know that the likelihood, I don't know, as far as this year, as far as somebody TNA getting an NXT championship or vice versa, that's not happening. But the matches are so good, you're not even like, that's not even like, well, I already know this is not going to happen. Like it's just one of those things. So I think it's going to be, I think we're definitely going to see that. And on that note, I got to run, but I might be back. Bye.
Well, thanks for coming. We appreciate it. Wow.
Well, bye, boss.
Okay.
Bye.
I mean, all right.
She said she just wanted to drop in for that story. She did say that. So
I mean, she did. So
we say her
sue
name
us for thinking she'd be around. So, but with that said, this is actually an issue we have somewhat talked about, but not in this regard. Bad Bunny is in the news. He recently did an interview, and he was actually on Hot Ones, which, if you've ever seen Hot Ones, it's a great show for great conversation and, of course, trying to eat lots of hot food. But he was asked about whether or not he's the best celebrity wrestler ever, and he said, no, that's a fact. I am the best celebrity wrestler of all time. Now, there's quite the list, and some were more skilled than others. So let's have the conversation. Is Bad Bunny the most skilled and the best celebrity wrestler of all time? The shades have gone on, so honey, we'll start with whoa. Oh no. I thought for a second I saw shades on Courtney.
No.
Dark. Okay.
I was like, crazy if her lens has changed though and just went to shades.
I mean, really, that would be nuts. That'd be nuts. But matter of fact, though, with that said, Courtney, let's start with you. Is Bad Bunny the greatest celebrity wrestler of all time?
Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's pump the brakes. Because there have been a few celebrities that have shown up that actually did pretty well. Not sure on what caliber Bad Bunny is talking about, but best, I would say, but not like number one or at the top, because there's a few celebrities that have did well. It's not even dawning in my head. He faced Cody Rhodes Stardust at SummerSlam. I really forgot his name.
Oh, Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell, that was his name. And then also they had the Refrigerator, William Perry, way back at WrestleMania. That's another celebrity one. And I wouldn't say best, but I would say he's at the top of the list. But that's just my 2 cents.
So I just want to make sure y'all heard what I just heard. Maybe I interpreted that wrong. Did you just say that Lawrence Taylor was a better wrestler than Bad Bunny? I just want to make sure I understood that.
No, not a bad wrestler, but thinking of some of the celebrity. Yes, not a better wrestler, but I might have interpreted it a little wrong when it came to William Taylor, but no.
Lawrence Taylor.
IWGP.
IWPG, yes. So, honey, Courtney clearly thinks that Stephen Amell and Lawrence Taylor are in a conversation with Bad Bunny in terms of the greatest celebrity wrestlers of all time. Is Bad Bunny right in being the greatest celebrity wrestler of all time? And if not, who should be in this conversation?
Bad Bunny is not correct about being the greatest celebrity wrestler ever. He is correct in his confidence. I will give him that. He is correct in his confidence. However, and I hate to go against my peeps because Puerto Rico, hello, but I might have to at this point, because Stephen Amell, as Courtney said, Lawrence Taylor, I wouldn't say they're the greatest celebrity wrestlers of all time. Honestly, the real greatest celebrity wrestler of all time, and no, it ain't Logan Paul either. It is David freaking Arquette. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to leave that there. I said it.
Okay. All right. All right, honey. Okay. 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 Well, I suppose if I were trying to support your argument, I would say he's a former world champion.
He is.
And the argument in your defense would be that he's probably tried this wrestling thing longer than most of the celebrities.
Yes.
That's about what Councilman, if Bad Bunny, first of all, do you agree with Bad Bunny that he's the greatest celebrity wrestler of all time? And if he is not, then who is in that conversation?
So I know that this is clear. What do we mean by like greatest? Like overall?
No, not overall. I'm just saying
the greatest celebrity wrestler ever. Now, granted, there usually aren't a whole lot of matches to choose from with these celebrity wrestlers. So we have to clearly look at, whatever one might think would make them great.
I mean, technically, John Cena is a celebrity wrestler now. If you just
John Cena started as a wrestler. So okay, if we're talking about that, we're talking about people who did not begin as pro wrestlers, who got their fame as a celebrity, and as a celebrity were able to enter in the pro wrestling world because of their celebrity. Not pro wrestlers who have gone on to become celebrities.
Right.
Oh no. The greatest one is Drew Carey. I'm kidding. It's not Drew Carey. No, I don't
have a problem.
I don't think
I knew it, Jeffrey. I knew it.
No, it's none of them. No, the one y'all missing the biggest one who is really the biggest celebrity. It's The Miz. The Miz is the greatest celebrity wrestler.
I can't count that either. You know why?
No, because he was famous on MTV before he signed.
But The Miz went through Tough Enough.
Yeah, he did. He did.
But before that, he was on The Real World, though.
He was on but he went through. I think here's the thing: going through Tough Enough and then literally pursuing a career in pro wrestling is far different than coming in and having a one-off.
So we're just sticking with the one-offs.
Yes. Because the Miz ultimately has become far more famous as a wrestler than as a member of the MTV show that he was a part of. So the real world. That's what it is.
All right. Let's be serious. In all seriousness, guys. The real celebrity wrestler is none other than Tommy Lister.
Y'all are really. What are y'all trying to do tonight?
I mean, I'm saying you. Look,
what's happening? So now we're gonna go with Zeus.
I mean, Zeus did.
Zeus, Debo, whichever one you want.
I think I can give him credit to say you were definitely the one who you made it step up to be a celebrity wrestler. I will give Bad Bunny that. I think you did it to where Logan Paul felt like he even had to step it up and do something incredible to top you. So I'll say I think you've been a refreshing celebrity wrestler, but I don't think you're the best. Like even from personality-wise, I can think of several different ones. Like Iron Mike Tyson was a better personality as a celebrity wrestler than you've been in there. As far as even like wrestlers concerned, to Courtney's point, like Stephen Amell gave us a far better match than you did.
He gave us a whole show.
Yes, he did.
But it's like currently, like even too, like Dennis Rodman, Master P, like all of them were in there. But it's just like the one that you're gonna really look at that just like, dang, who came in and bust through the door really is Logan Paul.
Who do you say, Professor?
Well, before I give my answer, I want to look at some of these comments here. Shout out to Mission Pro Wrestling hanging with us. We appreciate all that you guys have done for women's wrestling. Action Bronson has been mentioned. Johnny Knoxville has been mentioned. Shaq was mentioned. Let's see. There's a Dennis Rodman mentioned. There's a Mr. T mentioned.
That's the one that also's up there. Mr. T is definitely
Karl Malone in there too.
Karl Malone. You know, I almost wonder, and I don't know if it would be long enough to dedicate an entire show to the celebrity wrestling appearances. You know, you look at a Mr. T, who was in the first 2 WrestleManias, including the first WrestleMania main event. There's that. We've seen a number of people come in, you know, for one-offs and things like that. I think what can be difficult about the celebrity element is I think the bar was so low for most celebrities. I think you look at a Stephen Amell, who was probably the first one where we went, oh, snap, like, wow, he's really got something. And then, you know, we saw obviously Logan Paul. Bad Bunny really took it to a completely different level. And so I think what they have done, those 3 in particular, they have created a scenario where if you are a celebrity wanting to get into the ring, that's the new measuring stick.
Yeah.
And because that's the new measuring stick, I think it has made many celebrities a bit more hesitant to jump into a wrestling ring, which honestly I think is a good thing. I think, and we've talked about this before, when celebrities go to play basketball or baseball, they're not entered into the World Series or the NBA Finals. You know, they have a separate game for them at the All-Star game. And so obviously celebrities being on WrestleMania, you know, I understand the crossover appeal, or at least the desire for that. I think Bad Bunny has a strong argument. I'll just say that. I think he has a very strong argument as the best celebrity wrestler of all time. Not to mention, he's probably the biggest celebrity given his incredible footprint as an artist around the world compared to the other celebrities that have jumped in. Yeah.
We not gonna act like
Oh,
Snooki doesn't have the greatest fan base and biggest fan base
Lord
in the world.
I think we got some numbers for Bad Bunny that would refute that, but
Snooki.
Yeah, I mean, literally, Bad Bunny being in is the equivalent of Taylor Swift being in for the women's side. And yeah, you know how the Taylor Swift crossover is going. Ask the Chiefs. All right, with that said, last night, episode 3 of Ashe Wrestling TV. If you missed it, it was fantastic. Kiera Hogan versus Charity King, a great match. Team Georgia and Team North Carolina, fantastic, and a lot of really cool things. Let me just say this. There's something very big planned for the month of February for Ashe Wrestling TV. It will be a Black History Month celebration all month long. So you'll definitely want to look forward to that, and we'll keep you posted on all of that. Congratulations again to Ashe Wrestling TV. WrestleMania tickets are officially on sale. We had pre-sale numbers happening on Wednesday. Now they are open to the general public. And now we can tell you for sure, there was a lot of talk about what the nosebleed seats were. People said they were $700 and above. Took a look today. They're running $340. So not quite the $700 everybody talked about. So certainly there's, I think, a relatively affordable opportunity for you to get into WrestleMania if that's some of what you'd like to do. But those tickets, individual event tickets, are on sale now if you want to be there for Saturday and or Sunday. Again, April 19th, April 20th for WrestleMania. Now, today happens to be the 9-year anniversary to the day of AJ Styles' debut at the Royal Rumble in WWE. Incredible. Absolutely incredible to think about what that debut was. I believe he debuted at number 3 that year, 2016. It's incredible. He's gone on to win the WWE Championship on 2 occasions, multiple championships as the U.S. champion. He's always been a main event player. Here's my question to you guys. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate AJ Styles' WWE career, with 10 being the best, 1 being the worst? How do you rate the WWE career of AJ Styles? Courtney, we'll start with you.
Given the fact he did have some injuries during his WWE career run, I am actually going to give him a 9 out of 10. because he did put on a lot of really good matches. And of course, rivalries with John Cena. And also a rivalry that I enjoyed that didn't finish was starting off with Cody a bit, and also had many matches with him being WWE champion and really just put on the crowd nicely. So he's really actually was able to perform in the ring. So I'm going to give him a solid 9 out of 10.
Okay. Councilman, how are you rating the career of AJ Styles, the WWE career of AJ Styles?
10 out of 10.
Okay.
You've done it all. You've held the majority of the belts. You had a whole slogan that said beat up John Cena, and you literally just went out there and beat up John Cena. Like, wasn't need no promo. He just ran out, started beating him up. You defended the world title with Shinsuke at WrestleMania, so you've headlined WrestleMania. I think at one point, I don't know if it's the same percentage now, that said like 68% of his career in WWE was him holding a title. Like, majority of his career, he was a champion in this 9-year run. Like, for anybody that's came in here for a WWE run, and we've talked about this before with like the Shield members when we had that debate, there's some people who have never held a title, have never headlined WrestleMania. Some haven't even been in the Royal Rumble. This man has done it all in 9 years. So I'd give him a fantastic 10 out of 10 run.
Okay. Honey, your rating of AJ Styles' WWE career.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with my tag team partner on this one. 10 out of 10 for the phenomenal one all day, every day. I think it's also a rare highlight in your career when you could say that you've won the heavyweight title in Madison Square Garden. And he definitely did that. He also has held all the other championships. He's had great rivalries. You know, the match, of course, with Taker, the cinematic graveyard match was just like a thing of beauty to be a part of something that was never done before, and to say that you were part of the first, while also, you know, facing a Hall of Fame wrestler who's had a lengthy career doing the same exact thing, you know, putting in first times for our eyes to see. And it's just a beautiful thing. So shout outs to the phenomenal one. Hope he has a good recovery, because I know it's not looking pretty, but he's hanging in there. So
I don't know if I'm completely off with this, but wasn't he like one of the first to win the WWE title overseas?
He was the first.
Was the first. Okay,
He
yeah.
was the first. He won the championship in London when he defeated Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, okay.
He did that in London. Yeah. I will say this. I know that Courtney is a hard taskmaster, holding injuries against AJ Styles. As if this man was injured the bulk of his WWE career. I'm gonna say this. I don't think people understand how difficult it is, or it is alleged to be, to have been a star in another company and come over to WWE and become top dog in the Vince era. And I put that in quotes. You know, we've talked before earlier in the show about people coming from WWE into AEW and how they're treated. But you have to understand that you were almost given the opposite treatment in coming to WWE in the Vince era. You were not immediately catapulted to the top of WWE. For AJ Styles to have gone all around the world, to be a world champion in TNA, to be a world champion in New Japan, to be and do all of those things that he did, to create the Bullet Club and all of the things, and to have all of that mentioned and played out in his WWE career, and winning the WWE championship in his first year in the company, and still be a main event player, he's got to be a 10 out of 10. I mean, there are so many others who attempted to do that and did not, coming from other companies, having done great things. So shout out to him. And again, that debut 9 years ago was amazing. Makes me wonder, will we see any debuts next week at the Royal Rumble? So let's just take, I know next week will likely be, you know, very specific to Royal Rumble, but I want to specifically ask, since it's 9 years since the debut of AJ Styles in the Rumble. And last year, we saw the official debut of Jade Cargill in the Rumble. And we saw the debut of Jordan Grace in the Rumble. Will we see any debuts in the Royal Rumble this year, and who might it be? Give me one person that you think could debut or reappear. How about that? Debut or reappear. Now, reappear obviously means that they've been in WWE before. Well, okay. For those who can't see what the Oos is saying, tell them what you're saying, Oos.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there any other answer?
Okay.
I got one.
There could be. There definitely could be. There could be. I could be wrong. But I'm just saying, this is the one we want.
What we want. What the people want. What the people want.
Okay.
Give me what I want.
Yes.
All right.
I would hope maybe Keith Lee.
He said it. He said it. He said it.
The Limitless music hits.
Okay. 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 How about you, Courtney?
Since his AEW deal is up, I wouldn't mind seeing Malachi Black in the Royal Rumble.
Courtney, shh. What? I'll get. You know what? I'll wait till we're finishing. I'll wait till we're closing out because I didn't want to say that because I don't want to get myself too excited. But you see how cheesy I'm getting.
I see.
Yes.
Well. I think we have potential to see a lot of things. I'd like to see Matt Cardona get that shot.
Man.
I think Matt Cardona, I mean, if you look at what Matt Cardona has done in the last calendar month, not the last 2 years, the last calendar month, it's pretty telling.
Yeah.
Showing up on AEW television, being in the world title match at Final Battle for Ring of Honor. Last night, fighting for the TNA World Championship. He's fought for 2 major world titles in the last month and lost. Sounds to me like, and he's been very vocal about wanting to get back to WWE. I think Matt Cardona shows up next week. And he's always ready.
As long as we get a backstage segment with him and his wife. Please give me that. Please give me that.
It's too obvious for it not to happen. And in this era, I think it'll happen. But we've got to wait one more week, and we'll get to see what happens with that. Now, before we get to the Rumble, we've got tomorrow night, of course, Saturday night's main event. We did a bit of a review, or at least a prediction of sorts, on Wednesday. So just a reminder of this card. Again, the Women's World Championship. We'll see Nia Jax challenge Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Gunther and Jey Uso for the Men's World Championship. Braun Breaker and Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm not sure if we have talked about predictions for that particular match or for this one, Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu. So let's talk about these two. Your thoughts? Does Sheamus finally win the big one at Saturday night's main event tomorrow night, or does Braun Breaker retain? Let's go to you, Councilman.
I'm gonna follow Deonne's suit, and I'm going to be a believer with this one. I'm gonna be a fan with this, and I'm not gonna go logical. I would like Sheamus to finally become a Grand Slam champion. I think if there's any time to do it, I think it would be here. And I don't think it hurts Braun Breaker, and I think he could easily get it back if they did an elimination chamber for the title run. It doesn't need, it could be short. It could be a short run. I just would like to see Sheamus get that accolade, and I think Sheamus could pull it off.
Okay. Courtney, do we have a new Intercontinental Champion tomorrow night?
Oh, I was on mute. Dreaming is believing, and I want Sheamus to get the Intercontinental Champion, complete it, let him do it. It would be nice treat for him, and it's not going to hurt Braun Breaker. So I am picking Sheamus to be the new Intercontinental Champion.
So let me ask you, honey, because both the councilman and Courtney have said that a title loss for Braun Breaker would not hurt him. It would be his second loss in a second short reign. Does that or does that not hurt the invincibility of Braun Breaker?
I think it does. I think it does kind of hurt especially when you put it that way, the invincibility of it. If you're trying to make Braun Breaker be the unstoppable badass, then that's what he needs to be, unstoppable. I as much as I hate to see the black cloud hanging over Sheamus's head of finally getting the cusp of getting that Grand Slam, I don't think it's going to happen this weekend. I think Braun Breaker retains.
Okay. And I just want to throw it out there. Has anyone changed their mind about Jey Uso becoming world champion tomorrow night?
You know what, man? I'm a dream on that one too. You know what? I'm a dream on that one too. Okay. If it's time for Yeeta Mania to start, go for it, man. Go for it.
Okay.
I'm going with my head and not my heart on this one. I love you, Yeet Master, but
Gunter, the ring general Gunter.
That's just so good to me.
Yes, it's
so
great.
Good to me. Courtney, do we have a new world champion tomorrow night?
Oh, yeah, because I didn't pick on Wednesday. I love Jey Uso. I just love the Yeet Master. But I'm going to pick Gunther as still champion.
Okay. It seems like a mixed bag in the chat. Jey Uso. Dylan says, nope, not going to be able to do it. Actually, it seems to be very pro Jey Uso. If not Jey, who beats Gunther? Well, we've been asking that question for a long time. Who beats Gunther? Don't know. But again, that goes down tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It is live nationwide. So wherever in the country you are, you can watch it on NBC or on Peacock. And what about this one? Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman. Quick prediction. Well, yeah, there's that. Quick predictions, Courtney.
I'm actually going to go with Jacob Fatu winning this match.
Okay, honey?
Jacob Fatu and possibly Wyatt 6 shenanigans.
Wyatt 6. Interesting. Councilman.
Yeah, I'm going with the werewolf. With Tama Tonga out there too, lurking around. Yeah, Braun. I ain't gonna say this. They might break the ring. I don't know why. For some reason, I feel like they're gonna break the ring.
How the hell is Jacob Fatu gonna do the throw up Samoan drop on this?
Oh, guy? I think he can do it. I think he can totally do it.
I think he
can totally do it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
and
I think you'll see it.
And I'm gonna argue and say I think Jacob Fatu is going to somewhat dominate this match. Mm-hmm. I think Braun Strowman will kind of start off but I think this begins the coming out party of Jacob Fatu. Fatu has been very kind to be very chill and subdued and reserved in the new bloodline, being the heavy for Solo. But if you notice, when Solo didn't properly give him the time of day last week, and they gave that man a live mic in the middle of the ring.
Listen,
let me tell you something. Jacob Fatu is about to be the problem we've always known he could be. And without him having to play second fiddle to Solo, are we about to see something? And I think it could be a bit of a crime scene tomorrow night. for what'll happen to Braun Strowman, rather.
The face he gave Jimmy when he was out there, that facial expression, I was like, yo,
yeah.
This we finna see something, like you said, something very different.
He's special. He is very, very special. He's a very special talent. And
I'm so sorry, Braun. I'm so sorry, Braun.
Braun, we love you, big boy. We love you, man. But
let's see. Moses says he'd be one strong guy if Braun is 386. Do yourself a favor if you haven't. Go and check out some of what Jacob Fatu did in MLW as the world champion there for 2 years.
And Braun will sell that too, though. Braun will help get himself up there to have that spot.
I don't know that he has to help. I think Jacob is not really that strong.
Not yet.
So we'll see. We'll see. So this is all tomorrow night. And then, of course, there will be the contract signing between these two gentlemen for the World Championship. It'll be moderated by Shawn Michaels. Now then to tonight. There was a mention of Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga tonight will take on LA Knight. We also know that Motor City Machine Guns will take on Pretty Deadly. And there will be an appearance from the world champion. Any thoughts on what could happen tonight on SmackDown? Quick predictions. Councilman, we'll start with you.
Which world champion is going to be there tonight?
The WWE champion, Cody Rhodes.
Oh, okay. So the WWE champion, Kevin Owens, is not going to make a surprise.
Listen, Kevin Owens could show up anywhere.
Okay.
He showed up Monday night.
Yeah. It's just, we just acknowledge him that he got this belt.
Oh, you said, yeah.
The only prediction I say is I would love, like to Honey's point, I think I'd love to see some hints at like Wide Six, and potentially the Bloodline is the first place that they start, and bringing Braun Strowman back into the fold.
Interesting. Okay. Courtney?
I smell a lot of mayhem within that tag team division, because looking at this match between Motor City Machine Guns and Pretty Deadly, it's already getting started, and who knows what other chaos is going to happen, because you have Legado Fantasma still trying to get their hands on Pretty Deadly. DIY, they're still lurking after we saw them on NXT. So there's going to be a lot of shenanigans and a lot of mayhem within the tag team division on SmackDown.
Oos, what say you?
Give me chaos. Pretty Deadly with the win, but there will be chaos due to interruptive tag teams, and I think we're going to get an announcement for a big tag team match by the time Royal Rumble comes.
Okay, that's right. Royal Rumble is next week, and the only match that we know of right now is the WWE Championship match. Of course, there will be 2 Royal Rumble matches, which will certainly take up the bulk of this event, and I'm imagining there may be at least one other match. Where else that will come from, we will find out either tonight or maybe even Monday night on Raw. Before we go, I thought I'd mention this to you guys in case you have not heard. But this weekend, which will be Sunday, I am amongst the nominees for the for Commentator of the Year for the Georgia Wrestling History Awards. So I imagine by Monday, I'll be able to let you know, did we, didn't we, all the things. But thought it'd be cool to mention that. So with all of that said, we've got a watch along tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, right at the top of the hour. With the Sweetest Oos will be here with live reactions to what's going on all things SmackDown. All right, Courtney, how can the people find you?
Well, they can always find me here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on WWT Live. Wednesdays, AEW Dynamite, and I'm gonna have to make a strong case on why I think, because you can join my Dynamite, on why I think my clients, The Acclaim, are not the worst AEW Tag Team Champions, but I'll say that for Wednesday of next week. And I can also say that I met one half of them in person. So you can say that next week. You can say that for next Wednesday on Dynamite. But they can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram on @CourtneyNJ11, where they can see all the content that happened, my previous adventures on Bell to Bell over the weekend, where I got to guest commentate, and a lot of stuff happening in the coming weeks.
Okay. All right. Councilman, how can the people find you?
You can find me at the Boat's #1 fan on all socials, Twitch and YouTube.
You
out
heard it
there.
said.
Yes, we're gonna have a Discord open up on why the boat is the boat.
Oh boy.
But just make sure y'all support our Kayfabe podcast as well. We'll be live tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 o'clock Eastern. Once again, we are fantasy booking 6-man, 6 women Armageddon Hell in a Cell match today. WWE roster and just all around.
Cross brand.
All around. Yeah, so you don't want to miss out on that. It will be on WWT as well. You don't want to miss out on that. It's going to be a great show. And all I know is this: if Bonner does not win this award,
we riot.
Georgia does not like black people, and I'm going to make that a hashtag.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
I appreciate that, guys. I do. Honey, how can the people find you?
You guys can find me here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays with the WWT Live crew. Don't forget, 8 o'clock, top of the hour, we have our Honey Night SmackDown watch along where we're going to get into all the good stuff and all things SmackDown. Join me tomorrow if you're free with the Kayfabe podcast with the boys, Councilman and Deonne. It's always a good time. We got a lot of fun segments ready for y'all tomorrow and discussions. And you can also find me forgiving Courtney for those half points on the Shield debate because of that Bambi shirt. I will always respect the Bambi. And you could always find me at All Things Wrestling with Honey and asking the question, why is Malachi Black watching WWE Royal Rumbles?
I mean, listen. It
was posted on his story.
Because he's coming. He's coming.
That or he's trolling. One of the two. Both of which could be very, very possible. You guys, of course, can find me at Bonnerfied across all of the social spaces. Again, you can find me with Ashe Wrestling at Ashe Wrestling TV on their YouTube channel. If you've not seen any of the first 3 episodes, go back, check them out. I am on them, and the production is incredible. The show is amazing. And if you get a chance on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, join the live chat. They have a live chat rocking just like our live chat here. It is fun. It is exciting. Some of our people from here are over there as well. Special Nobodies has been there and a few others. So make sure you check that out. Also, check out my work with All Caribbean Wrestling. Some really cool things are happening with All Caribbean as we are moving ever closer. Wow, I think we're right. I think we are exactly 5 weeks away. Yep. 5 weeks away from the television premiere of Saturday Night Vibe for All Caribbean Wrestling on Tempo Networks, which is going to be amazing. So you'll want to download the mobile app for All Caribbean. If you don't have Tempo right now, download that mobile app. And there have been interviews that have been happening with talent from All Caribbean Wrestling on the Tempo Instagram page. And Tempo, by the way, their network, their Instagram page has like literally 1.2 million followers. So it's really exciting to see the way they are pushing and promoting All Caribbean Wrestling. They did an interview, I believe, last week with Mark Henry. Today, they did one with the All Caribbean Wrestling Women's Champion, Kalia Capri. Fantastic interview. So you can go back and check that out on their Instagram page. Also, what else? Lots of great things are coming in the month of February. So be on the lookout for that. Of course, check out All Things Bonnerfied. Again, some really cool NXT content has been up this week in terms of seeing the best male and female champion in NXT's history. So go back, check out those videos, weigh in on that. Check out all things connected to women's wrestling talk at WW Talk Pod. Let me answer you, special little nobodies. Tempo, 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 like speed in music. Tempo, not temple, tempo. And you can find them at Tempo Networks on Instagram, and you can follow them that way. Thank you for asking that. I appreciate it. Women's Wrestling Talk, WW Talk Pod on the social spaces, all kinds of fun things. Of course, check out the new website, www.talkpod.com. Great things happening on the website. Brand new website designed by our own councilman. So shout out to him. Also, lots of new merch designs that he's had a big part of as well. So you can check that out for our merch and all kinds of fun things happening. Again, we've got a watch along happening at the top of the hour for SmackDown. There seems to be watch alongs for just about every sort of show that's happening in the wrestling world. You can check it out here at Women's Wrestling Talk. So shout out to everybody hanging with us in the chat. Jeffrey, Special Little Nobodies, Jasmine, thank you for coming through again. We appreciate you. Pachu, always great to have you. Dylan, of course. Boza, of course. Man, and so many people who have just come through today. We definitely appreciate you. Go ahead.
Mission Pro Wrestling was in here.
Mission Pro Wrestling was in the building. Chris LeClaire, Ms. Awesome Saucy. I think that's a cool name, by the way. And just all of the people who have been through. We appreciate you guys rocking with us because, of course, this is WWT Live as part of Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Peace.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.